upon a time, a young boy was struck by a mysterious illness. His body temperature spiked suddenly, and he appeared extremely weak. After a few days, red spots began to appear on his body, and he started bleeding from his nose and gums. His parents were deeply worried and helpless as they watched their son's condition worsen. His parents sought help from a shaman to cure their son. The shaman began chanting mantras over the boy. However, the chants failed to heal him. Tragically, the boy passed away after weeks of fighting the mysterious illnesses. Since then, the villagers began to speculate about the strange disease, believing that it was caused by an evil spirit.
Decades later.
It was a bright and cheerful afternoon at the park. Families gathered for PE, laughter filled the air, children ran freely kicking around the chocobar. But what seemed a perfect day can change quickly. After playing in the crazy area, the child lost down, unaware of the mosquito quietly buzzing nearby. Then a mosquito landed on his hand and bit him. Later, he noticed something strange. Small red spots started to appear on his skin. They are itchy and uncomfortable. He didn't know that it could be something really dangerous. What he didn't know was that the mosquito carried a virus. Once the virus enters his body, the virus will begin to travel into his bloodstream, targeting his immune system. Inside his body, the virus will infect the white blood cell, tricking them and multiplying rapidly. His immune system, in response, goes into overdrive and make him feel sick, which caused a fever. The next morning, the boy felt even worse and decided to go to the clinic for a checkup. At the clinic, the doctor examined him carefully. After checking his system, the doctor told him that he may be infected with dengue virus.
However, the boy is lucky as the symptoms is not as bad as internal bleeding and organ failure.
The pathogenicity of dengue refers to how the dengue virus causes disease in humans after infection. There are 4 serotypes of the virus: dengue virus 1, 2, 3, and also 4. Infection with one serotype confers lifelong immunity to that specific type, but not to others, allowing reinfection with a different serotype later. The 4 serotypes share 65 to 70% nucleotide sequence homology and are closely related. The dengue virus enters the human body through the bite of an infected Aedes mosquito and causes disease by infecting and damaging human cells such as monocytes, macrophages, and dendritic cells. Monocytes are a type of white blood cells circulating in the bloodstream that respond quickly to infection. Once they migrate into tissues, they can differentiate into macrophages, which are large cells that engulf pathogens and debris, or into dendritic cells, which act as antigen-presenting cells that help activate other immune response. In dengue infection, the virus enters these cells to use them to replicate. This viral replication leads to cell damage and triggers strong immune response, including cytokine release, inflammation, and increased blood vessel permeability.
The clinic was overflowing. Every hour, more and more dengue patients walked in. Medicines were running out, so were staff. Nurses moved non-stop, and doctors barely had time to breathe. Still, they kept going, tired but determined, doing their best to care for everyone.
Moving on to the impacts of dengue on individuals and the government, we'll look further in terms of the health, economic, and environmental effects. Without further ado, children are especially at risk, and this often causes pediatric wards to become overcrowded during outbreaks. But what makes dengue even more difficult to control is that not everyone shows symptoms. Some people may feel completely fine, but they can still carry and spread the virus. This is called asymptomatic infection, and it's one of the reasons why dengue spreads so easily without being noticed. According to recent research and WHO reports, around 40 to 80% of dengue infection show no symptoms at all. Next, dengue also cost the country a lot of money. For example, in 2010, the Malaysian government spent about 235 million ringgit just to prevent dengue. This includes things like fogging, which is spraying smoke to kill mosquitoes. That's about 5,000 ringgit spent for every reported dengue case. On top of that, we also need to think about the cost of treating people who get sick, like medicine, hospital stays, and doctor visits. When we add both prevention and treatment costs together, the total comes to around 562 ringgit millions in just 1 year. So dengue is not just a health problem, it's also a huge financial problem for Malaysia. Besides, if you are wondering why dengue is now spreading to more areas than before, the answer is that travelers carry the virus to new places. While this helps promote socio-economic development, the country also opens the door for dengue to spread, especially through uncontrolled tourism over time. This factor cannot be fully controlled by vaccine yet, because there is still no perfect vaccine to prevent dengue. Therefore, we take extra precautions. One of them is by using the Olison net, a long-lasting insecticide-treated mosquito net. It helps protect family, especially at night, by preventing bites of mosquitoes while people sleeping. It's easy to use, requires no electricity or chemicals, and can last for several years, resulting in many people actually like using it, as it's simple, safe, and effective for daily protection at home.
Global history of dengue. In 992 AD, China first recorded symptoms resembling dengue in ancient Chinese medical texts described as a poison water and linked to flying insects, which is somehow close to what we understand today. By the 18th century, major dengue outbreaks were documented in busy port cities across Asia, Africa, and even North America. These outbreaks were often sudden and widespread, fueled by trade and population movement. During World War II, dengue fever became a serious problem for soldiers in Asia-Pacific region. Many military fell ill, highlighting the need for urgent medical research. But in the decades that followed, the disease became more dangerous. First documented cases of dengue hemorrhagic fever (DHF) in Philippines and Thailand. As of today, dengue is endemic in over 100 countries, with growing hotspots in Southeast Asia, the Americas, and Africa.
To fight dengue, the government begins with education. Health officers are sent to schools and community halls to raise awareness. They explain how dengue spreads, the signs to watch out for, and how to stop mosquitoes from breeding. One key message is the importance of gotong royong, or community cleanup efforts. When residents come together to clean stagnant water, unclog drains, and tidy up their surroundings, they help destroy potential mosquito breeding sites. The government also carries out fogging in affected areas. This helps kill adult mosquitoes, but it's only a temporary solution. Long-term prevention depends on action from everyone. Simple daily habits like turning over unused containers, covering water tanks, and using repellent make a big difference. These actions help turn risky areas into safe environments. Dengue prevention requires teamwork, with strong support from the government and active involvement from the community. We can protect our homes and keep dengue under control.
Dengue fever can have a strong impact on a person's life. In this segment, we will hear a true story from someone who went through it.
Assalamualaikum, saya merupakan salah seorang bekas pesakit yang pernah menghadapi penyakit dengue. Simptom yang saya hadapi pada awalnya adalah demam panas yang mencecah 39 darjah Celsius, di mana menyebabkan saya malam itu terus bergegas ke klinik untuk dapatkan rawatan lah. Apabila cek darah dan kandungan air serta air kencing, mendapati kandungan platelet saya kurang dan betul mengesahkan saya mendapat penyakit dengue. Selepas itu, simptom yang saya hadapi ialah saya kurang selera makan. Saya tak dapat makan kerana rasa makanan tu tak sedap lah. Kemudian cirit-birit, muntah-muntah dan berasa lesu, di mana saya berasa agak sukar untuk berjalan. Joint saya berasa pedih, menyebabkan saya ingin hanya tidur saja sepanjang hari. Rawatan yang diberikan oleh doktor kepada saya adalah ubat demam, paracetamol, oral salk untuk kembalikan saya punya, lepas saya muntah-muntah itulah, Lepas tu saya ada dapat ubat tahan muntah, ubat ciri-birik, dan satu ubat lagi adalah ubat untuk meningkatkan kandungan sel darah putih dalam badan saya. Dan saya mengalami sakit itu hampir 5 hari juga. Dan setiap hari saya perlu ke hospital untuk cek kandungan darah putih dalam badan saya. Itu saja.